For a lot of people in the animation industry, 2024 was a bit of a shit show. There were the devastating layoffs, cancellations, and cutbacks due to global economic issues, corporate greed, post-pandemic shifts, financial constraints, and changes in viewer habits, as well as concerns over the intense AI advancements we've been seeing. I've been witnessing a lot of despondence and feelings of hopelessness around the industry, which is completely understandable given what's been happening and how people's livelihoods are being affected. But there were some positives to come out of 2024 and more to expect during 2025, which I think deserves some recognition, if only to give people a bit of hope. Indie productions have been thriving and more people are watching animation than ever before. There were 6 animated features in the global box office top 20 in 2024, and 4 of them, Despicable Me, Moana 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, and Inside Out 2, were in the top 10. Inside Out 2 set new world records, becoming the highest grossing animated film in Pixar and Disney history. Another thing to look forward to, according to the Animation Global Market Report for 2024, is a lot of strong growth in the market in the next few years. There's been a rising demand for animated content across various platforms, with dynamic growth in the gaming industry and general growth in the entertainment market. There have also been advancements in animation technologies, which will have the knock-on effect of pushing more expansion and innovation within the market. But speaking of advancements in technologies, while exciting, it's obviously pretty scary in some ways, specifically with regards to AI, particularly generative AI. A lot of discourse I've been seeing around the animation industry has been around valid concerns over job displacement with the widespread adoption of Gen AI. There are a lot of conflicting arguments around AI and the effects it already has had and will still have on the industry. It's evolving so rapidly, and new advancements obviously bring new fears. I have done a fair bit of research into the AI tools that may help animation, and there are some really amazing tools out there that we can utilize to improve our pipeline and free up more time and mental capacity to focus on the creative parts of the job. But the fact remains that there is significant disruption in store for us because of Gen AI. A report co-commissioned by the Animation Guild outlined the coming impacts of generative AI on the entertainment industry. I'll link to the report in the description of this video so that you can check it out for yourselves. Key findings were that 72% of firms surveyed can be considered early adopters of Gen AI programs, 75% of survey respondents indicated Gen AI tools, software, and/or models had supported the elimination, reduction, or consolidation of jobs in their business division. But at the same time, it was also indicated that Gen AI technology has already led to the creation of new job titles and roles in their organization. 36% of respondents who are currently developing a Gen AI capability reported that Gen AI had reduced the need for certain skills and responsibilities for daily tasks, which increased efficiency in routine tasks and enhanced the quality of certain tasks in their organization, while also introducing new tasks and responsibilities. Around 44% of the early Gen AI adopters in film, television, and animation are using it to generate 3D models, and 39% are using it in character and environment design tasks. 37% are using it in voice generation and cloning and compositing. At the moment, humans are still required in the creative processes here because, as we know, Gen AI is not perfect. Creatives still need to come in after generation and fix up whatever the AI created, whether it's retopologizing 3D models or fixing the fact that one of your characters now has 7 fingers on their hand. Also, Gen AI can't just generate anything. There's certain things that it can't create. It's completely constrained by its inputs as well as what it's been trained on. So if you ask it to create something it's never been trained on, it just can't. But a person can. There are a lot of discussions, articles, think pieces around this, so please do your own research and draw your own conclusions. Don't just listen to some rando on the internet telling you what to feel about all of this. But what I can tell you is that this is happening, and I really do suggest that you research some of the tools and see how you can incorporate them into your workflow and utilize them to your advantage. Even if you may low-key or high-key hate the idea of AI and what it may mean for your job, do yourself a favor and empower yourself as much as you can. We are facing an era of disruption, whether we like it or not. Some job roles will be consolidated, some will be replaced with new ones, and some will be completely eliminated. If you fear that your particular role is under threat, it may be time to branch out a little bit. What I can say is that change has always been a constant in the animation industry, And we all knew coming into this, hopefully, that we would need to keep up with new technologies. Innovation has always had a cycle of emergence, evolution, adoption, and adaptation. We have yet to see how Gen AI will ultimately be adopted and adapted to our specific creative needs. The thing is, our industry has seen so much progress and so many evolutions, from frame-by-frame hand-drawn 2D animation to computer-assisted 2D animation to 3D, the emergence of VR and AR, motion capture. It's always been an ever-evolving landscape, and there will be, as there have been in the past, opportunities for people to adapt and find their new place within the industry. We still have an appreciation for the hard work humans put into creating art. My point is, people value the creativity, the skills, and hard work of humans, not just the product. The problem is with soulless corporations who don't care about creativity or soul. They just want to churn out content as quickly and cheaply as possible. Hopefully there will be new laws and regulations, such as the Animation Guild was trying to fight for in their new contract, although not all their demands regarding AI were met, such as the option to opt out of using AI in their jobs. But the point is, people are becoming aware of the necessity of protecting people and their jobs. And hopefully there can be a legislation that benefits everybody. There are also studios like Illumination who've been outspoken in their support for human artists and being against using Gen AI in their animation production. I'm not saying there hasn't been a lot of upheaval, and a lot of people have already been negatively affected by the adoption of Gen AI. But at least we know that there is some pushback against this, and we need to keep pushing back in order to protect people and their jobs. Regarding the new contract between the Animation Guild and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers in 2024, they successfully negotiated for health and pension fund increases, wage increases, and some protection for members with regards to the use of AI in animation, which includes the ability to consult with productions in identifying alternative non-Gen AI tools for animation production. Some of the other demands regarding AI were not met, unfortunately. They also negotiated for additional sick days, increases to dismissal pay, the recognition of June 19th as a holiday, and minimum staffing levels for writers and gains for storyboard artists. Of course, this only applies to those in the US and who are part of the union. Not all of us have that benefit, myself included. Now, I'm sure everybody knows about the massive layoffs. My social media was flooded with it, news about it, and people who've been affected by it, across the gamut from well-known studios to smaller indie studios. It's heartbreaking. Artists who've been in the industry for years, creating incredible animations for their entire career, suddenly just cut loose. Also, people just starting out in their careers, full of hope, suddenly having the rug ripped out from underneath them. Nobody was safe, and it devastated the industry. This was due to a lot of factors, one of them being that during the pandemic, animation streaming increased by 22%. Obviously, everybody was cooped up at home, streaming hours and hours of content, animation content included, and the platforms tried to meet that demand by getting more animated content. But since people have started getting back to work, they're not streaming as much, obviously the demand has dropped. And tons of animators have subsequently lost their jobs. There's also been a ton of competition between streaming services, and a lot of people canceled their subscriptions because who wants to be subscribed to 5 different platforms, right? Streaming platforms are also realizing that streaming is not as lucrative as theatrical releases. Box office sales used to make up a large part of the revenue for animated movies. Streaming services rely on subscriptions, which often doesn't cover the kind of budgets needed for high-quality animated movies, at least not like box office sales used to. That's also why there was that crackdown on password sharing by streaming services, because they're trying to get more subscriptions in. They don't see high quality animated content as being as likely to pull new subscribers in, at least not to reap the kind of returns they want to see. They don't care about the quality of the animation, they just care about profit and revenue. A lot of animators are starting to look at alternative careers because it's just too stressful and unstable recently. There's also been a decrease in hiring as production budgets have been slashed. This is due to factors such as outsourcing, cost cutting, restructuring, and yes, AI. More studios are outsourcing as it's cheaper. Long story short, that's it. At least they think it is. A lot of the time though, the outsourced work comes back and it's substandard. Then the studio needs in-house artists and freelancers to come in and fix it, and then they get behind schedule and go over budget trying to fix it. It doesn't happen all the time, obviously, but it happens often enough that it's a problem. If you were part of the layoffs and you're looking for a new job opportunity, there is a really incredible spreadsheet, which I will link to in the description of my video. It's one of the best job trackers in the industry and it's updated regularly. Props to Chris Main, who created it and keeps it updated. You're saving lives, man. Indie studios have started gaining way more traction and interest and way more success than previous years. Just look at the success of Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss from VivziePop, The Amazing Digital Circus from Glitch Studios, Lackadaisy. A lot of the issues we're facing are because of corporate greed. If artists rally, start creating their own content and their own studios, we can fight back against the soulless, talentless, AI-generated crap that's going to be coming out. Focus on creating high-quality and well-written animated content. And with indie studios, you can better dictate what kind of treatment animators get in studio, instead of being treated like expendable assets. While the animation industry is in turmoil for various reasons, I do think it's more constructive to view it as undergoing a transformation rather than a complete collapse and destruction of the entire industry. Our industry has gone through similar upheavals before, and there is always an ebb and flow, although I know this is a particularly bad time. And for the aspiring animators out there who are worried that they've wasted years of their lives and tons of money on a dead-end career, I feel like there's often more regret in knowing that you never tried than in trying to make this your career and maybe not having it work out. You may just want to diversify your skills and find an alternative way of making income, or have multiple income sources, especially during these slumps, so that you can carry on through it until the industry picks up again. For example, character animation is pretty niche. Becoming a generalist will net you more opportunities. Look at working for smaller studios, maybe in things that are not necessarily film or series. And become familiar with the tools that we'll be forced to use sooner or later so that you can remain relevant. Thank you to my patrons as always. I greatly appreciate your support. Like the video to get it into more people's algorithms to help the industry and get people to realize what we're going through so that they can help us fight it. And subscribe to keep up with my new videos. Bye!